Uh, Alright, our TITC is almost over. Today is the last day. We had lots of problems in Q2 to Q4. The car did not finish, so we're gonna just do the best in our heat. And what happened? Well, I think root cause of all our problems. So I stripped 2 spur gears and broke a belt in those 3 qualifiers for my daughter. That was unlucky, but initially I thought it was the spur gear, so I changed brands. It's still stripped after a few laps, and finally I think the root cause is a cheap pinion to cause all that trouble in racing. It looks okay, this one, but compared to a new one, I used a caliper to measure it, and this one is 1 mm smaller than this one, so I guess this has worn out to the point that it probably is eating up the spur gears. Oh well, something to learn for the future. Make sure the pinions are in top shape all the time, and if it's a very big race, buy a new one. Buy a new pinion, buy a new spur, and really not take the risk, especially in mod where the power is so strong. The Axon itself worked very well. It's stable, easy to drive, and despite the conditions changing, it's good. So nothing much to say about nothing much to think about setting up once you get the correct range. Yeah, so maybe in the last 2 in our finals we can get a good time and see how we stack up. If we just got good qualifiers in, it's still a good measure, right? To measure how you we're gonna do that. How did I set up? Any tips? Well, rather than changing things on the car, the track itself, with new tires, the car will be very sharp, and when the tires are used for the second time, it will go to a more understeer setting, understeer tendency. So first run, I would typically initially, when my driver was not used to the steering, I would use a weaker traction compound in front compared to the rear to make it understeer a bit. Yes, different traction compounds. And then when she got used to it, then I used the same traction compound rather than try to change the car to make it less. Change it to alter the steering. That's kind of hard for me, so it's easier to just change traction compound in front. I know the gradients of my traction compound because I develop it myself, so I know I have several variations from strong to stronger to strongest, and I can more or less balance my car with traction compound. So I think it's 4:30 a.m. We'll try to get to the track early. This race is tough. It's the biggest on-road race probably in the history of on-road. I'm not joking. It is not an exaggerate. The track is hard. The track was not prepared for so many racers. There were pits everywhere. It's just if you read what the pros are posting, it's always, this is the most challenging, this is the most difficult and craziest race they've attended, and that's why they come every year. And now it seems like as the reputation keeps increasing, the people just come, and 450 is a lot of racers. those are unique racers, not entries. Yeah. Oh well. Hopefully, fingers crossed. If not, we'll see how the racing goes today. We'll just do our best and enjoy the event and meet some good friends, say goodbyes as we fly off tomorrow back to the normal world. But we still have one day today. Cheers.